giant, and say giant.
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 Tiny.
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 Eyes.
Size.
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 Okay, so the gorilla is giant.
Giant.
Gorilla is giant. The monkey is tiny.
Tiny.
And this is measuring size. Size. Giant means very big.
Very big.
Very big.
Very big.
Tiny means very small.
Very small.
And size is how big something is.
How big something is.
So, ¿qué tan grande que es, verdad? In Spanish, what's giant? Gigante o enorme? Tiny?
Mediano.
Mediano.
Chiquito.
This is mediano?
Es pequeño.
Chiquito.
Very, very small.
Niño.
Very small. So, diminuto, como
Oh.
chiquitito.
Es un pitufo.
Size, how big
Medida.
something is. Medida,
¿Cuánto grande es?
qué tan grande que es, like tamaño, okay? Ready? Say the word again.
Grande.
No,
Giant.
in English.
Giant.
Oh, giant.
Giant.
Tiny.
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 Size.
Size.
A mí me sirve porque si escucho varias veces la palabra, si el señor Anderson la repite más de 1 o 5 veces, yo ya la aprendo.
If I hear the
Escuchándola,
same, if I practice the same word repeatedly 1 to 5 times or more, then it helps me remember.
si la escucho ya me la aprendo y si la veo una imagen referente también, ya sé qué es.
If I see the image and I hear the word, then a reference picture, then it helps me to remember what the word is. Really quick, thumbs up if it's true, thumbs down if it's not.
Okay.
Okay? So, is this tiny?
No.
This, I don't know. I don't know. Okay? Is this size?
No.
No.
Good. Is this giant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, good. Is this giant?
No.
Is this size?
No.
No.
Is this tiny?
Yes.
Is this giant?
No.
Tiny?
No.
Size?
Yes.
Good. The next set of slides is the up-down kind of quick formative assessment, yes, no, when asking if it is that thing. So if I say this is coffee, it would be thumbs up. This is tea, it would be thumbs down. And then, which one is this? Tiny or giant?
Tiny.
Tiny or giant?
Giant.
Say it nice and loud so I can hear you.
Giant.
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 Tiny or size?
Tiny.
Tiny.
Tiny, good. Tiny or size?
Size.
Size, good. Giant or size?
Giant.
Giant or size? So,
El señor está. Señor Anderson hablando yo.
we're having fun.
Ya, next.
So, the activity that we just did, we're beginning with introducing the word itself, associated with sound. So, repeating the word, breaking down the sound by part. So not necessarily combinations of letters, but each individual sound and repeating that. The second part is associating with meaning in home language. So giant can mean gigante, but it can also mean enorme, muy grande. It has different ways that you can associate the word with the home language. And then the association with pictures. Giant, tiny, or size?
Size. Giant.
Giant.
Giant. Tiny.
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 Size.
Small.
Size.
Size.
It is a small foot, yes, but it is measured,
Size.
so it's
Size.
Size.
Oh. Signs.
Size. Size. Repeat one more time. Size.
Size.
Yeah. Z.
Oh.
Giant.
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 And
Giant.
this isn't tiny. It's still
Yeah.
big.
Giant.
Giant.
Tiny.
Tiny.
Tiny. Tiny.
Tiny.
Tiny.
Tiny. Good. Okay, so now, marker. Real quick, right on the desk. I'm gonna spell the word out. This is size, right? Size. I. Z. All right, now you can use your friend. So look at what Erika or what Carol has. Does it look the same?
¿De qué son?
Signs.
So change it.
Oh,
Change what you have. Right.
Tiny.
Is it good?
No.
Giant. Giant.
Giant.
Así.
Yeah.
Giant.
Puede ser.
Giant.
Giant.
¿Tiene alguna otra letra?
Here.
Giant. Ant.
Así, ¿verdad?
Like that. It's okay. You can cheat. You can look at your partner.
Giant.
Yeah. It's not Gandhi. This is Gandhi. So it's giant.
Yo me río porque yo tampoco lo sé.
Alan, listen. Real quick. And
¿De qué es esta?
remember the boxes, different sounds, right?
Yeah.
I.
Apenas salgo un video.
Oh, my God.
Giant. Good. And next, last but not least,
Tiny.
I.
Tiny.
Tiny.
Listen. Eyes. I and.
¿Qué es eso?
Tiny.
No, that's not an A.
Tiny.
No, it's an A. I.
¿Por qué?
Porque nos ayuda a aprender más cosas y saber lo que significa.
It helps us to remember what more things and remember what the word means.
Yeah.
And then we go to the side-by-side pictures saying either or. So you're listing both words and students say out loud which one it is. And I think an important part throughout those steps and all the steps really is just making sure that you have wait time and that everybody is participating. So my buddy Adan over here was reluctant at first to respond in some cases, and I just want to emphasize that you have to make sure that everybody is responding every time. And then we went to the pictures where each click a new picture appears and the students say what the word is. That would be the last step. And it is also possible to wait for a student to repeat what their peers are saying if they're not sure what it is, just that repetition and kind of reinforcement. The slides that we presented don't include the writing at the end, but that's something that could be added, I think, just to kind of get that manual spelling out of the word as it's being pronounced. And whenever possible, breaking down the word into its parts when asking students to write it in terms of parts of sound.